Uh, what a time to be alive when D'Angelo first popped on the scene. Brown Sugar. How does it feel? I'll tell you this. That's one of the easily top 10 videos of all time because it was so simple. How does it feel? When it started off, you would use ear and he was like, what's this video about? And then it's like the back of his head and it's the cornrows and his hair's all thick and silky. And then it comes around, it's just big, juicy lips. People are going to say, oh my God, why are they big and juicy? They were big and juicy. My mom's got big, juicy lips, and a lot of white people have big, juicy lips. But I'm just talking about what I used to hear girls say. Big, juicy lips, succulent lips. And then it goes down, and his chest is just ripped up like a freaking Ken doll. And then it goes down, his abs are popping, and he's got the little indention cuts in his hips. And I was like, what? Every time that video came on, I just felt like I really got to get my life together physically. Because he was just built like perfect. And then he's singing, yeah. Then they close it on his abs when he hits the, yeah, 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 yeah. And you see the abs just constricting. I was like, okay. And the song just hit. It was all about the man asking the woman, how does she feel? How does it feel? Oh my God. That video was on rotation. Oh, those late 90s, man, early 2000s, such good memories. So when, I'm at an age right now where artists are passing away that I listened to in those formative years, like your teenage years and your early 20s, when you're just, life is just, you're optimistic about everything because you got time. You got time to make things happen. You can take a chance and it not work out, but you still could I got time to recover. I don't have that time anymore. Luckily, I've made some good decisions in my life, but I don't have the time like that. There's no feeling like just like when you're a teenager and you meet a girl out and you go on your first date. There's nothing like that. I remember when living in Cincinnati, my teenage years, like sophomore, junior year of high school, there was on Sunday nights in the summer, there's a place called Caddy's. That's where everybody was at. And then during the summer on like Fridays and Saturdays, there was a place called Surf Cincinnati. It was a water park, but they had a scene called Splash Dance where teenagers would come and just at nighttime, it was probably like 8 to midnight or something. And a couple things I remember about going to Splash Dance a couple times. I always hung out, and I've said this before, I've always been a guy that hung out with guys that were really good looking. And then they meet girls. And then when the girls start talking to me and we start mingling, I was always the funny guy in the group. And they'd always be like, my girlfriend would like you. And I would always be thinking, why don't you like me? Why am I always getting the secondhand girls? One night we was at Splash Dance in Cincinnati. I'll never forget. I had these jean cutoff shorts and this blue button-down shirt that I buttoned up, but I tucked it in. That's how you used to wear it back then. Had some white K-Swisses. And we're just sitting there talking. And this girl just goes, you want to dance? And I went, huh? Okay. I'm with the normal guys I usually hang out with that always get the girls. Sorry, that light's really bothered me. And the girl asked me to dance. And I was like, oh, snap. So we danced. And my thing was when I was a teenager and even when I first got in the Navy, when I'm talking about my 18 to 21 years, I would always end up making out with girls on the dance floor. I don't know why. I thought I'm just going to go for it. End up making out with her that night at Splash Dance, kissing, French kissing. And then you exchange numbers, but this is before cell phones. This is when you had to call the house. There was no email. Like I'm dating myself, but you really it was harder to keep in touch. I'll put it like that. And I just remember I got her number, called a couple times, and I think she answered once or twice. I didn't really know how to talk to girls. I lived in a trailer park. I had no money. I had no car. I got nothing to offer. So what are we really doing right now? I just remember I wore that same outfit every time we went out that summer because I thought these jean cutoff shorts, this blue shirt, just, I don't know. It just makes me look good. And the girls like it. And I wore that every night. It's almost like when you go to a night, when you first get to a city, and you go to a nightclub and you might meet a girl at the nightclub and you might hook up. I don't know. She might be fine. You'll tell everybody, yo, this club's off the chain or this bar's off the chain. And then you go back there a couple more times like, yo, this bar kind of sucks. I just happened to meet a girl that night that was cool, but this bar sucks. Yeah, but with D'Angelo passing, it just took me back to my teenage years, my early 20s, and just good memories back then. You know, even when Brown Sugar came out, it was just that whole era, man. And God, what is in the water in Virginia to have Pharrell, D'Angelo, Chris Brown, Missy Elliott, Blackstreet. It's just there's so much talent in that Southern Virginia area. Talking about like Norfolk, Virginia Beach, and Richmond. That whole area. I don't know what's in the water out there. What these people are drinking. I don't know. Is there like guitar strings in the water? I don't know. But there's some talent coming out the 757, the whatever Richmond's area code is. 813 is Tampa, I think. Anyways, whatever the area code in Richmond is. Yeah, there's some talent coming out of there. But that really sucks. And then Angie Stone died. Now D'Angelo dies a year later, and they got a son. And he's out there handling it well. But, you know, that just sucks, man. But we're at that age. I remember Chappelle went on SNL a couple years ago, and they asked him why he did it. And he was like, you know, I think A Tribe Called Quest had an album or something coming out, and he wanted to have them as a musical guest. And he said, you know, we're at that age where you start losing people unexpectedly for various reasons. And, you know, if you can do anything to help them out or support them while they're here, you got to do that. So, yeah, just 51 years old. That guy is my age. It's wild. That's just wild to me. Yeah, just kind of sucks, but it took me back so many memories.